The leak started, was identified around about November, and thus we gave 21 days notice to the municipalities, which is Mohale municipality and Johannesburg municipality, which will be the areas which are affected.
How big a job is this in terms of repair?
We estimate that it should take, if everything goes well, a maximum of 25 hours.
And how widespread is the water shortage actually going to be?
It's going to affect the whole of Mohale City. It's going to affect the West Rand in the Johannesburg city, in the Johannesburg municipality, and it's going to affect the areas around about in the areas of the north of Johannesburg up to Greenside.
In cases like this, obviously there is a need for water. Would it be up to the municipality itself to provide tankers to dry areas, or is that something that Rand Water would get involved in, or at least recommend?
The agreement is that the municipalities, that is our normal bulk water supply agreement, that they provide tankers, and if they need any other assistance, would normally try and assist.
What would have caused, I beg your pardon, go ahead.
But let me emphasize this point. This is not a total shutdown. We're going to still be supplying 50% of our supply from that pumping station. We normally supply 1,200 megaliters a day. We'll be supplying 600 megaliters a day, plus our reservoirs, which are going to be affected, are sitting around about 80%.
Why this weekend? Did you not postpone it a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, it was postponed because the principals at Johannesburg municipality wanted some clarity, which we had a meeting last week Friday with.
What type of clarity were they seeking?
They were looking for clarity in terms of why is it done on a weekend, why is it not done during the week? And obviously, if you do it during the week, even the industries are at work, so you're drawing more water.
Obviously, this is an optimum time. What would have caused the valve to leak in the first place?
Well, it's a normal, what I would say, if you're having a valve, you'd have something like a crack because of the pressure in the valve, or some packing giving in. But because this is a big diameter valve, we don't want to take it out, repair it. That will take long.
Is it not a little more than that, Mr. Mkhize? One of the problems with water distribution we know in Gauteng is the system itself is aging, and that calls have been made in the past that a great deal more investment is going to be needed. Is it simply not a similar problem to what we've had with the power stations, is that the system itself has reached the end of its sell-by date?
No. I can assure the viewers that we're not in that stage. Rainwater spends on average 2 billion rands a year in doing maintenance. We've got a standard maintenance program, which is a maximum, which shows us everything when it's about to get its own repairs and all that. But dealing with like moving parts, motors, pumps and all that, we are bound to find things here and there. The mere fact that this we identified in November, and we're monitoring it, and we could give 21 days notice, and it hasn't given up even now.
All right, let me ask you one final question. To what extent are your pump stations being affected by load shedding, particularly as we enter stage 3 tonight?
First and foremost, our big stations, there's an agreement with NERSA and ESCOM and EUG, which is the energy user group, which we belong to, for our big stations to be the least to be affected. That will be the big stations, Sekerbos, Vereeniging, Swartkoppies, Eikenhof, and Palmit. Now, Melbourne is in Eguruleni, and unfortunately that one is interwoven with a system there. It's not easy to isolate it. The other systems, we have an agreement that I've mentioned. We have an agreement that they'll be the last to be shared.